Okay, second boss fight, Moongazing Maiden. So this one is way more complicated, and this is the one that I'm personally worried about because this requires a good amount of coordination. But let's go with the first mechanic. So the first mechanic is pretty simple. She will summon a clone of herself. And it's important that we kill the clone. If we don't kill the clone, raid-wide damage. A lot. I think it's even, I think for the first time, it might even be a raid wipe. Because we just aren't going to be as geared as we could be. But a shit ton of raid-wide damage. You'll also notice that the boss has this clone has two little markers on its health bar, and this is important. So, it'll make sense in a sec. But basically, when this spawns, you'll see that there's three markers here, okay? And these three markers denote 3 full moons that are found in the arena and in different locations. And so keep in mind for these full moons, because when we damage this this clone and it reaches that first little, we damage it to that first marker, she will drop moon fragments. Now these moon fragments, when you interact with it by mighty dropping on it, can be pushed into the full moons. So you have to walk up, and you'll see right here, walk up and mighty drop, and it'll push the moon fragment, okay? And so we can push them into the full moons. Otherwise, after a period of time, and you'll see there's a slow tick of time right here for this boss mechanic. Once this fully charges up, she will take all remaining moon fragments and then deal damage based on the number of moon fragments yet to be put into a full moon. Okay, so the more moon fragments that are left, the more damage she does. Probably we raid wipe. Probably, I would say. Let's just assume we raid wipe. But there's another important mechanic too. So when we push a moon fragment into the full moon, you'll notice that, like, for example, this one right here has no of these golden segments for its charge. But now it does after the moon fragment enters the full moon. Now, this is important because a full moon should not have any more than 9 moon fragments in it. If it does, when she attacks one of these full moons, which you will see right there, she's not targeting the guildies, she's targeting the full moon, right? She'll hit the full moon, and then it will deal damage based on the number of moon fragments it has. If it has 9 or more, it's basically, I think it is a raid wipe if it has 9 or more. So we have to make sure that, and again, we can count just based on the number of fragments, that we don't push any more fragments we need to into those moons. Okay? So try to keep them under 8 for all of them. Try to. And then we should be okay, so long as we do that. Now comes the other major mechanic, which is going to be that second, the second major mechanic. So you'll see here on the top right, when the boss fight begins, there's that charge meter, right? Or like a timer, really. And it'll slowly tick down. Once the timer ticks down all the way to the bottom, you will see that she will summon a gigantic fucking moon. Full moon. A gigantic fucking moon. Remus Lupin ain't got shit on this moon. Right? He fucking hates this moon. Now, the moon will also give the boss a gigantic fucking shield. So, the idea is this. In order to remove the shield, we damage the full moon. And we are on a timer. During this time, the boss is going to be attacking us with a shit ton of attacks. Specifically lightning attacks. Okay? And the full moon will also be dropping purple moon fragments as well. These shattered, full moons. Avoid touching purple moon fragments, because otherwise it will do a lightning AoE bit of damage. And lightning's really, really important in this case. Because the boss also actually does lightning attacks as well. And here's the important mechanic. A lightning attack, if you get hit by one, you get a debuff. Which says that if you get hit by another lightning attack, so 2 lightning attacks, you will take a shit ton of lightning damage that will... It's like you basically take like a lightning bolt onto you, and you'll leave behind a lightning AoE, like a you'll see here in a second, lightning circle right there. You see that? That's a lightning circle right there, and this is important because that lightning circle, if you get hit by it, I believe you get stunned. Like not if only for a brief moment, but pretty significant because you look at the damage again. Look at these AI health bars. Remember these AI health bars. These AI teammates literally cannot die, so they purposely mitigate the damage for how much it's done to AI teammates. This is basically a raid wipe. if you take too much damage, more or less. This one's not, this one's fine. That little simple bit is fine. It's this attack right here where she will target 3, it looks like 3 guildies with a red AoE. And it's important that for these 3 guildies, deflect. Don't try to run away from it, because I don't think you can outrun it, and you'll see why. Look how fast she attacks here, right? Pew, 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 pew. Right? Pretty quickly. And it's repeated. So the goal for these guildies would be to A, split off from the main pack, and then B, make sure you spread out, and then just try your best to deflect them as you can. Really, you should, I mean, everyone should be getting to the point where this isn't hard to deflect these constantly. If you need to spam deflect, that might be okay, but it also looks like it's not hard to read how quickly these attacks land. Let me see. Yeah, it looks like it's like 3 attacks, but yeah, just avoid. Sorry, not avoid, just deflect. Deflect and you should be okay. Important thing too is you'll note the amount of damage it does, right? So like right here, note this bottom left right here, these AI health bars. You can still kind of see the, you might need to like full screen this video, but you can still see their health bars. Look what happens after this, you know, these lightning AoEs and the damage lands, okay? Look at the health bars. They basically all die. The reason why these only have a slim health left is because, again, these are AI, right? These are AI. They're not supposed to die. So they purposely make sure that there's a little bit of health left for the game. If these were actual players, they're all dead. Poof. On like 5 of them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of them. 5 of them are gone immediately. That's a raid wipe right there, because then we have no more reses. We're basically dead. Okay? So we only get 1 fuck up, basically. And then we just gotta do a refight. But yeah, and so make sure that you're not, you know, doing your best to deflect, but then also making sure that you're isolated from everyone else. In the case that you do end up having to take a bit of damage, and maybe you get hit with a lightning strike, which won't be the end of it. Just be careful. And don't forget that this entire time, while this is happening, while we're avoiding yellow AoEs and we're deflecting the reds and everything like that, we have to keep attacking the moon, because if we don't attack the moon by the time that this timer runs out, which seems to be pretty reasonable. Yeah, it seems to be pretty reasonable. But if it does end up hitting 0, that's a raid wipe. And then on top of that too, make sure that we are also avoiding these purple fragments as well. If you touch these purple fragments, little yellow AoE that eventually leaves behind, or that eventually does a lightning attack, and that will count towards the debuff. So don't. Just avoid the yellow AoEs as best as you can. The other major attack that she does will be a really, really, really big couple of attacks. So there's a lightning cone attack. Just avoid this one. This is going to be very simple to the current raid. See this attack? Avoid. I think she targets 1 person in particular, so that 1 person needs to make sure that if she is targeting you, I think it's the tank though, but if she is targeting you, have the tank or whoever is being targeted, make sure that she's targeting you away from the rest of the group and away from the big giant full moon that we gotta attack. Otherwise, everyone needs to leave this, and then it's just going to be not efficient. So move away from the group, let her attack and whatnot. She also does a red column attack, which does 4 of these lightning slashes. So these are deflectable. I would just deflect it. Just get it deflecting the timing and be fine. She will send out 2 lightning hoops, lightning circles at someone. Pretty easy to deflect this as well. And then finally, the major one is this really, really big yellow AoE. And this will target 3 people. Okay? So this giant yellow AoE, and you'll see right here how big it is. Boom. So that's fucking massive, right? And so it targets 3 people. These 3 people need to run away. Now, it's more than just running away. You need to be able to dodge at least 2 of these attacks. And what I mean by that is that one of these attacks will do 2 instances of damage when it first initially blows up, and then because it leaves behind a lightning circle, if you are still within that circle, you're susceptible to take damage. And so you'll see right here, player avoids to fail the damage, and so they actually have the lightning debuff, which is right here, this little lightning debuff. That's when you know if you have it. But they're able to dodge out of the lightning circle so that they don't actually take the second instance of damage, and so they're fine, right? They're in danger, but they're also fine. So very important. It's okay if you get hit by one or the other, but try your best to not get hit by both. And this is where I was talking about, if you need to start to learn perfect dodging. And a really simple way of perfect dodging is just go into any sort of boss fight for like those trials, abyss trials. Go into any boss fight and just dodge. Just focus on perfect dodging. Try to find the timing to where like, okay, I can perfect dodge attacks. Like, you know, at an okay level. Doesn't need to be perfect. Really doesn't. But be sure that you actually understand the concept. But if you do that, we should be more or less fine. And then it just seems to be a repeat of these mechanics. So it'll go from she summons clone, which then we need to push into the 3 full moons, and then she'll summon the big moon, and then we just need to avoid lightning AoEs and just break the full moon. And it seems to just be a repeat, a rotation of these mechanics, while at the same time just making sure that we avoid her other attacks and everything like that. But otherwise, it's pretty straightforward. Doesn't seem to be too complicated, but it does require some good coordination, making sure that we, you know, individually are skilled enough to, you know, dodge and deflect as appropriate. And also important too is to make sure that for our damage rotations that we, you know, are also outputting enough damage relative to our gear score. So if you still are struggling to figure out what is your damage rotation, just look up a guide. Look up any simple guide of your weapons about what your damage rotation should be. There's so many guides on YouTube that you can just be like, okay, let's say I'm rocking ranged fan. Either of the fans, right? Like Vernal or the bamboo cut wind. No, sorry, dust. No, it's wind. Anyways, point being is that you can just look up a guide. There's multiple guides about that. Or maybe you're like a Hundao player, or maybe you're a tank, a healer, doesn't matter. There's multiple guides you can look up to figure out what's your damage output, just so that you're able to put out enough damage. And then also for our healers too, again, healing rotations. I know Irie has been, you know, helping with some of us, but just make sure that you understand your healing rotations as well, what you should be doing, because as you can see right here, there's not much leeway for how much damage we're able to take before a player is dead. And so it's very, very important. Like you see right here, look at all this health. It goes from this, and then these lightning attacks land, and then boom, dead. Like 3 of these AI are dead already, right? Or that AI is actually already dead, but like 3 basically dead. One of the healers almost died. So just make sure. And if we do that, we're gonna be okay. And then one final note is that, you know, some people have been asking me, like, what should my gear score be roughly when we hit 91 and whatnot? Well, assuming that, you know, you have some pretty decent gear, I'd say at bare minimum, to do this raid, you would need to be 2.6. Bare minimum. Really, it should be 2.7. It should be 2.7 at this point, and might even need to be 2.75. But in that realm, if you're within that realm, there's no worries. So that's yeah, that's gonna be basically it. So please just review these 2 videos. This video is available in the Discord as well if you don't want to hear me fucking talking and you want to just watch the creator of this video explain the boss mechanics. You can do that as well. But otherwise, brush up on this stuff, work on, you know, perfect dodges, deflects in your damage rotations, and we'll be fine. I don't believe we will spend 5 hours on our first raid clear like we did with the previous raid, so I don't expect that to be an issue. And as for when we'll be doing the first clear, if this is indeed actually next Thursday for when this will be releasing, I would say that we will be aiming for a Friday. So next Friday, you know, if it's next week, we'll aim for next Friday as our first raid clear group. Otherwise, Saturday the 16th will just become a fun raid day, and we're gonna have a fucking blast. We're gonna just, you know, we'll shoot the shit. We'll try to get as many raid groups and get everyone those double dip rewards as best as we can. So yeah, but that's it. So thank you guys, and yeah, hope to see you guys for the raid day.